This is truthfully unrelated to anything I'm about to discuss further in the video, but recently I've been thinking about an old coworker of mine named Bubba, and for the sake of the story, he'll be our coworker. So our coworker Bubba, when you think of a man named Bubba, you probably think of a big, buff, ruthless, possibly African-American homosexual. But fun fact about Bubba, he's actually a 125-pound twink white boy named Riley. Who's in his early 40s, but that's like unimportant. And you might think about our dear friend Bubba, and you're like, that's not a very form-fitting nickname, but at least it's like a childhood nickname. Nope. Up until recently, everyone called him Riley. He was known as Riley at work. That was on his name tag. That's his biological name. But on one of his days off, he went to a pride parade in one of the neighboring towns, and he came back and he was like, I want you all to call me Bubba from now on. And I'm going to say it, we don't know what happened to him. We're not sure what happened at that pride parade that radicalized him so much or made him don the persona of Bubba, but anything we've deduced is nothing good. We don't know where he got it from. But yeah, no, like I said, it's completely unrelated. Bubba's just been on my mind a lot recently. Great Clips, man. I gotta stop going. Like, I don't have my own barber. I just go to Great Clips. And every time I go in there, I go into Great Clips, I say, hey, can you get a little bit off the top? And I walk out of that bitch looking like young Sheldon without failure every time. And it's starting to piss me off. Listening to people talk about how long they've been with their own specific barber has made me realize how low of a standard of living I have. Because my barber is just whoever happens to be scheduled that day. I remember the last time I walked in there, I was like, hey, kid, I had showed her a picture of him on her mullet. I was like, hey, can we do that? She was like, oh my gosh, I give the same haircut to my nephew. I got you. She gives it to me, and I walk out of there, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, damn, do you fuck your nephew up this bad too? Because this sucks. Not only that, but it's like a funhouse mirror. Every time I sit in there, I'm like, damn, my hair be looking good as shit. And then I get out of there, and I'm like, fuck. But the time in particular that I remember getting my haircut that really truthfully aggravated me was almost 4 years ago now. Yeah, I know, I got fucked up 4 years ago, and I'm still going. I am a masochist, and I'm a slut for pain. But about 4 years ago, I was getting ready to go to prom with a girl, and I had kind of like the average haircut of a 17 or 18-year-old. It was more of like a shag kind of ordeal, and I was like, I should probably get this cut for prom, for her sake. And so I went in, and I was like, hey, can I get my hair trimmed up? Da-da-da. I showed her some reference pictures. It was relatively like a side part, but it would still kind of preserve the length of most of my hair just by shaping up the sides and back and trimming some dead ends off the top. Nothing crazy. I remember sitting down in this chair, and the woman starts, spraying and getting ready to cut and parting my hair and shit. And she's like, honey, I don't mean to be mean when I tell you this, but you've got the same type of hair that grows on a baboon's asshole. Huh? There's no way that you can tell me that without sounding mean. Also, I've never looked at a baboon's asshole, but the next time I do look at a baboon's asshole, I'll remember that you were thinking of me. But I just let it happen. I was like, I'm already in the chair. Like, I gotta get my hair cut. We're here. So I let her do it, and she got my hair looking beautiful. And I was ready to get out that chair. I was ready to pay her my $20. And she put her hand on my shoulders lightly, and she went, I'm not done. And I was like, nah, we're looking pretty good. She goes, I'm not done. I was like, I think we're done. Like, I've got my debit card. I'm ready to pay. And she was like, but I got the scissors. And she just fucked my shit up so bad, dude. And I had to live with that haircut for like 3 months until it grew out to a reasonable length. And then I ended up just cutting it all off anyway. And come to think of it, looking back, there's very few people that have worked at a Great Clips that have, gosh, I'm coming to tears thinking about it, that have made me look good. And the thing about that is they're always on to better things. Like, they're never going to be at Great Clips for too long. I had a guy that cut my hair for like 3 years, and then he went and opened his own barber shop, and he's doing great. And I can never get in with him because he's so packed. And he took so many of Great Clips customers because he was actively advertising while cutting their hair. He's like, man, in 2 months, I'm moving off to better things, man. Like, there's always some talent scout in there with like a fucking wig on that's like waiting for a good haircut. And then they're like, I want you to go D1 on my team. And then they get a better offer and they go elsewhere. If there's a good barber at Great Clips, they are never there for too long. So treat them good while you have them. But, oh man, dude, I've got to stop going to Great Clips. Anyways, that's really all for the video. I wish I had more to say. I kind of like these rant style videos because I really can't like find things to make videos on. If you guys have things that you want me to make videos on, I'd be happy to. But yeah, I really just can't think of much at the moment. That being said, if you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, share with a friend, because if you enjoyed, they might also. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'd really appreciate that. And show love to some of your folks today. You never know who needs it. Be good people, and peace out.
Been on a run, steady collecting these funds. This year off the sun, spitting fire from my lungs. Never been a bun, yeah, we